Hello, I'm Colette Prince and welcome to Digitize Your Biz, a show that speaks all things digital and business. With an increasing number of internet users and the start of the COVID-19 outbreak, this has forced numerous industries to rethink how they do business and how to maximize sales through the digital space. Today we break down and simplify the term digital marketing, looking at the different tools that exist to help boost your visibility and sales. Joining me to chat more about this is the director at Algorithms Agency, Ashley Watts. Ashley, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
So just in simple terms for people that don't know, what is digital marketing?
So, digital marketing, I think you need to look at it from a technological perspective and you need to look at it from a platform perspective. So, obviously, as technology advances, it gives us a lot more communications and platforms that are out there where marketers as well as brands can start actually talking to different types of audiences as well. So, think about it from a, you have electronic devices that are now everyone has access to mobile phones. So, it's about marketers and brands being able to reach wider audiences through different types of technologies.
And speaking of reaching different audiences, how different is digital marketing from the traditional forms of marketing?
Yeah, definitely. And I think this kind of explains it here, where you have to kind of expose yourself to what is traditional marketing. And a lot of people see that being your television and your radio adverts that they used to listen to, as well as newspapers, billboards, brochures, and a lot of different PR stunts and activations that kind of been out there. So when we look at where we are at the moment, you're actually moving into a space of every person at the moment has access to a cell phone. Majority of people have access to the internet and have the ability to use data to start receiving communications on their devices. A lot of people are playing games on their phones at the moment, which give marketers an opportunity to start serving people adverts through those games itself. Then obviously websites. Websites is one of the biggest things out there. A lot of the SMEs in the world at the moment is obviously running their own websites, and also in the e-commerce space as well. So especially with the likelihood of what happened with COVID at the moment, a lot of people are trying to sell their products through websites and e-commerce stores. It's becoming extremely important. But you also have YouTube that's out there. You have all your social media platforms that are out there at the moment, all giving opportunities for smaller businesses as well as marketers to be able to start serving information through that. So that is where we kind of see digital at the moment, but it's actually a little bit more beyond that. So when we have a look at that, each one of these different platforms have data points. And it have data points that allow you to start understanding consumer habits and what people are doing, what type of sites they're going to, so that you can start serving them relevant information in the places that they are searching. So it's not all about saying, I'm going to, I have a billboard now, I'm going to put it up and I'm going to hope a lot of people are, going to be seeing it. It's about, I understand who my audience is. I know they're on Facebook. I can start serving them adverts through Facebook because that is where my audience and my customers are going to start looking at my products and maybe have intent to buy products.
How is this, or why is this important for an SME who might be thinking to go digital to maximize this surge of digital activity that people have now been going through due to the pandemic?
So what you got to realize now is that traditional, although it still absolutely works and is definitely something that people should start looking at. One, it's quite expensive. So for a small business, no one can, a lot of the guys can't necessarily afford to have a billboard up for months and months on end. But also with the evolvement of digital, what's happening is that the traditional advertising space is diluting. So the audiences are starting to dilute across different channels. So no longer all the audience is looking at TV or listening to the radio or so forth. A lot of people have migrated, say, for instance, from DSTV to Netflix. A lot of people are looking at online videos and things like that. So as a business, you need to understand where is your audience currently and how do you start injecting them with the right type of communications. So it's not to say that traditional is not working, but people are evolving. People are accessing their phones. People are starting to have a look, a lot of the people aren't sitting in front of the TV and just watching TV anymore. They have their phone on their lap or their tablet on their lap and they're actually dueling whatever they're essentially doing. So they're half watching the TV, they're looking at their Facebook profile, they're checking their Instagram, they're doing a lot of those things. So it's important to understand that the person from 20 years ago who would generally just watch TV, listen to the radio, see billboards while they're driving is no longer that person. That person doesn't exist. We're on a digital age at the moment and you need to start understanding what possibilities and what opportunities are there for you to start talking to that customer on different channels.
And if you're a business that's not operating online right now, what would you say, or why is it important, do you think, for those businesses to maybe consider moving into the digital space?
Yeah, I'm not going to say to you that every single business needs to start thinking about moving into the digital space, because not all businesses are going to work into the digital space. It's about what are you selling, what are the products and the services and everything that you have there. So you need to understand, is your business and do they have an opportunity in the space? Because a lot of businesses come to us and say to us, we want to move into the digital space. We want to have a Facebook page, we want to have a Twitter page, we want to have a website, we want to try to sell our product online. And we go, why? You need to ask yourself the question, why firstly? Are you sure that your audience is on there? A lot of businesses that we work with specifically sell products and services that requires amounts of tendering and networking within that industry. Are those people that they're trying to target actually online? Are you sure that you're going to be able to do that? So we always ask the question why first, but it's also a definite responsibility that you need to try it. So you need to be in a space that you need to prove whether it's going to work or not. So have your Facebook page. You can obviously push marketing budget into that. But if it's not working for you, don't continue just because the rest of the people say you have to have a Facebook page. It's not that. You need to understand that if your audience is there, you then have the ability to then target them through those different channels. So as a small business, don't just go, I'm going to try and do everything possible to move myself into digital space. Try it. What doesn't work, you cut out of your marketing budget and you can continue from there and then optimize most of your budget into those channels that are working for you. And if that's e-commerce, then great. But you need to think about it this way. If you're someone who is selling construction, how do you then move into the online space and sell bricks as an example? Not a lot of people are going to be buying bricks online. It's networking and relationships.
Okay, so Ashley, just hold your thought right there. Catch us after the break as we continue our discussion on digital marketing. Stay tuned.